Welcome back, race fans, to another edition of East Coast Formula One action. We are here at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps track here in Belgium. It is a classic circuit full of a ton of technical spots, a lot of high-speed sections, and some fantastic history. We're just getting ready to start qualifying here as the first car out on track looks to be a Renault, getting out there right away. And we got a Red Bull and a Ferrari out right behind him as we're on board with Caesar in the Alfa Romeo as he heads out of the pits. It's a pretty tricky pit to get out of here. It's easy to spin, easy to make contact with the wall, but he heads out just fine and points his car at the legendary spot of this track, Eau Rouge and Radillon. Lots of chaos happens there. It is a fantastic part of F1. We should see some action there today. Got quite a few cars on their outlaps already. I'll just get my menu brought up here. Alright, so it looks like we got a Renault up there. That looks to be Labatt's teammate Snooker, getting those soft tires warmed up. We got quite a few medium compound tires headed out of the pits there. Pretty even on the grid by the looks of it. So we'll see what how that plays out as far as tire strategies go to start this race. He's near the end of his lap, so he will be the first one to put in a hot lap. Got some people tuning in. Monkey, obviously. Maria cheering on Renan in the McLaren. And here we go, Snooker starting the first of the hot laps here at the Belgian Grand Prix as he heads into turn 1. Goes a little deep there. Hangs on to it, doesn't invalidate luckily. As he heads through up into Eau Rouge. This can be a tricky part of the track to take. He nails it quite well coming out into Radillon, into the Kemmel Straight. These cars get going pretty quick there. About 350 kilometers an hour, I believe. Ooh, almost cuts that corner, but takes enough of the curb. Quick shift up into 6th. This is a downhill right-hander. Sometimes hard to take, but he does quite well. Oh, and there it is. He invalidates, unfortunately. He'll have to take another trip around the track. Hopefully he has enough fuel to do so. The next car behind him looks to be an Alfa Romeo. That will be Caesar. He also invalidated, so he'll make another lap around to get a time put in. He's followed by a Red Bull. That is Smith Pell, the current Drivers' Championship leader, if I do recall correctly. Bit of a lock up there on the right front. It's a tricky part of the track to nail down. He's got a purple second sector. There hasn't been a ton of times put in yet, so that could change quite quickly as he heads into the back portion of the track, these series of left-handers. Coming into the final chicane. Originally the bus stop chicane. This is a tricky one to come out of too. You get the power down so you see the back end slide out there. Fastest lap at the moment, 143.107, set by the Red Bull of Smith Pell. Guitar Man right behind him in the Ferrari with 145.218. We got a couple Mercedes coming across. Labatt sets a time of 143.762 in the Renault. We got a Racing Point coming along. That'll be Unholy Red Eye on the medium tire. Fourth fastest with a 145.272. And looks like we got a Haas coming as well. The Yuppie 143.325. I believe he is a reserve today. I haven't seen that name yet. Soy Loco, his teammates, that's a 144.391, good enough for P4 at the moment. Dissection in the AlphaTauri with a 145.354. We got some medium tires coming through. ZGS in the Williams, 144.9, good enough for 5th. Guitar Maniac, his teammate there with a 147.013. He'll be looking to improve on that for sure. Detail in the Racing Point setting a 143.975, good enough for P4. Not too far behind, 2/10 behind the third fastest car on the soft tires. So he'll definitely be looking to push those guys. Raimai in the AlphaTauri set a 156.159. Imagine he had some issues. He's definitely quicker than that, so we'll be looking for some more out of him. The second AlphaTauri coming across, or sorry, the first, Caesar, good enough for P6 with a 144.574. He had to make a couple trips around the track and validates right away. Looks like we got a Ferrari coming. Guitar Man does not improve his time. Looks like we got a McLaren coming as well. Oh, he dives into the pits. And Labatt's is also headed into the pits. This is a tight pit. You can definitely get some damage on your car if you aren't careful. We got a Mercedes coming pretty quick here. Looks like Stewart, oh, he abandons his lap. Might not have had enough fuel. He didn't validate, as you can see, the red map in the corner. We got a Racing Point coming as well. That's Unholy. He's diving into the pits. And Dissection will head into the pits as well for AlphaTauri. Possibly some new tires or maybe just a fuel top-up before they head back out. He's followed closely by a Williams and a Haas, as you can see the pit straight there. Got another Renault back there. That is Snooker just about to start his hot lap for Renault. You can see he's on the red compound tire. For any fans here that are not familiar with F1, that is the stickiest compound of tire. It does wear out the fastest, but it gets you the best cornering, the best grip. Gets a little squirrely coming up Eau Rouge into Radillon, but does quite well. Gets the rear wing open there. You can see that'll gain a car about 30 to 40 kilometers an hour, especially down that long Kemmel straight. He does hang on to a purple first sector, which means he has set the fastest first sector time of the session as we hop on board with him. Down into that hard braking right-hander. Good exit there. He's hanging on to a good line. He is flying in that black and yellow car. This is definitely a technical section that a person really wants to make sure you get every point, every braking point, every turn-in point, every apex you need to nail, because you can gain or lose a ton of time in that second sector or third sector. A series of quick left-handers as he comes into the bus stop chicane. Takes a lot of curb there. See how his exit is. Does well there, getting the power down. Good enough for P5 at the moment, the 144.102. I don't know if he'll attempt to improve on that, but very good lap from Labatt, or Snooker, my apologies. Niru going third fastest of the session so far, the 143.456 in the Black Arrow Mercedes. His teammate Stewart is just about to start his hot lap as he comes out of the exit of the chicane down the pit straight. And he'll get flying as we're on board here with Renan in the McLaren. You know, we've got some fans out there we can see on the stream. Give them some action as he heads up into Eau Rouge. Gets a little wide, but he hangs on to it. Heads down into the straight, gets that rear wing open. We'll hop on board with him. Mo Powa sets a 14th fastest time so far, the 146.057 on the mediums. Reading gets a little wide there. He's coming up on another car here, which I don't know if he's on a hot lap or not. I think he's on his in lap there, Niru, as he concedes that spot there, lets him go by. Oh, it gets a little deep there, doesn't invalidate luckily. That's a tricky spot. You can go wide, or if you touch that curb on the inside, it tends to suck the car in and spin it. Good exit there. Goes a little wide, but gets on the power early. It's coming up on a Ferrari. Let's see what kind of a time Reading can put in for McLaren as he comes in through the tricky bus stop chicane. Heavy on the brakes, bit of a lockup there. Gets a good exit though. Gets that wing open. Good enough for P14. Bumps his teammate down a spot. Owen Stewart gets fourth fastest with 1:43.574 as he just comes across the line. The uppie, he bumps Smith Pell down, goes with a 1:42.461, so he's got 0.6 on Smith Pell, over half a second on Smith Pell. So those guys will be battling for sure. USGT is still in the pits for Alfa Romeo. He's the only one to not set a time yet. Monkey Mafia heading into the pits. He was telling us earlier he's got a new wheel this week, so he's looking to really put the pressure on and see what this equipment upgrade can do. Looks like we got a Racing Point coming across. Invalidated lap for Unholy Red Eye. And we've got a Williams of Guitar Maniac. Bumps himself up significantly. He's in P3 at the moment. Provisional P3 with a 1:43.149. Great job on his part. Looks like we got a Ferrari down there. I'm not sure if he's on a hot lap. He is invalidated, so he will need to make another tripper on the track if he wants to. Stewart is also invalidated, so I imagine he'll be coming into the pits right away. We only have 5 minutes remaining here in qualifying. You can see he's followed by an AlphaTauri of Dissection. I think he's definitely on a fly. Oh, and he invalidates in the final chicane. That is heartbreaking. He would have definitely... Yeah, he was a second and a half. He would have bumped himself up considerably, unfortunately. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to make it around. Let's hope he can put in another banger of a lap here as he heads out of Radalon into the Kemmel Straight. He is flying in the AlphaTauri. Alright, so we got Smith Pell next across the line. He's definitely not improved, so I'm not quite sure if he will dive into the pits. Just gonna see if I can get one of the guys a quick invite here. I don't have him, unfortunately. Alright, who's next across the line? I see a Mercedes coming. Niru is just about to begin his next hot lap. Could potentially be the final lap for him of the session in the Black Arrow for Mercedes as he heads out of turn one. A little bit of a rear end slip. Nothing that he can't come out of as he heads into the legendary Eau Rouge. Nails it just perfectly. Gonna head back down here, I think. Oh, Raimai is gets a little squirrely into the chicane there, but he's starting his next hot lap. He's gonna push that AlphaTauri. He wants to move up from where he's at. Looks like we got a McLaren. Mo Powa just starting his hot lap here. Everyone was fighting for position, that's for sure. As you can see, the medium tires have essentially vanished from the grid. We'll hop back on board here with Niru in the Mercedes. Snooker just about to do his hot lap here. Niru's currently 2 tenths up from where he's at. He'll need at least another 10th in this last portion of the lap here to gain a position. See what he can do here. You know he's pushing that car to its absolute limit. And he does it. He gets 3 tenths up on his last time, beating Guitar Maniac by 100th of a second, but quickly bumped out by Detail. Right behind him there as he goes third fast with a 142.966. Currently the Haas of Yuppie with a 142.461 hanging on to provisional pole. Smith Pell did bump his time up quite significantly. I think about 5 tenths he gained on his previous fastest lap, so he's sitting with a 142.612, about one and a half tenths behind first place. Can see a McLaren just coming across the line of Mo Powa. He's over a second up. Oh, and he almost loses the rear end, but he bumps out a P18 all the way up into P11 with a 144.754. 11th place for Mo Powa. Reenan just starting his next hot lap here for McLaren. Soy Loco just began, or no, he's about halfway through his hot lap, sorry. That was Yuppie that decided to head out for another hot lap. Looks like we've got a Ferrari coming across the line. That is Guitar Man. Hopefully he didn't invalidate too late. He didn't. Stewart just coming across the line. He does improve. He's got 142.646, good enough for third place at the moment for Mercedes and Stewart. It is an absolute battle on track right now as everyone's doing their best to get as high up the grid as they can before the lights go out. Guitar Maniac just about to start. Oh, and Snooker's just parked off the track there, trying to stay out of everyone's way in that fast uphill corner. Looks like Labatt's, he's 500ths up on his time right now, which won't be enough to improve him unless he gained a bunch of time out of the chicane, which he does not. It's good enough for P9 for Labatt's. Next across the line looks to be a Racing Point. Oh, Detail dives into the pits. I can see a Red Bull. That is Smith Pell. He's 900ths up. He does improve his time, but not good enough to improve his position. He sits third here so far in qualifying. We're not done yet. Reenan, oh, he invalidated, unfortunately. That'll end his session. We got another Red Bull coming. Monkey Mafia, 1.2 seconds up on his time. From P14 to P8 for Red Bull and Monkey Mafia. We got a Haas coming around, and he dives into the pits. Mo Powa dives into the pits as he invalidated. You can see USGT came out right at the end of qualifying. Where is he going to end up? P14 for Alfa Romeo and USGT. A little bit of swap in there. I missed a couple moves there. Who else do we got? Everyone else is finished pretty much except for Snooker. He is done. You can see his delta is significantly higher. And I believe that is it. That is qualifying in a nutshell, everybody. Yuppie for Haas hangs on to pole position. He'll get that Pirelli pole position award with a 142.461, fastest of the session. And that is a Haas lockout of the front row. Soy Loco not too far behind, 1/100th of a second with a 142.470. Smith Pell for Red Bull, the current leader in the standings, sits third position with a 142.5, and Stewart with a 142.646 to lock out that second row. A lot of action here in qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix, the East Coast Formula One Championship. It's a sunny day. We'll see what race day brings. ZGS decided to stay out on the mediums. We'll see how that affects everyone's tire strategy leading into the race. On board there with Smith Pell, sitting third to start this Grand Prix. Alright, so Yuppie takes P1. Soy Loco on the second, or on the first row with a lockout for Haas. Smith Pell with P3. Stewart in fourth. Detail P5. Niru P6. Guitar Maniac in seventh. Monkey Mafia for Red Bull in P8. Dissection takes ninth, and Snooker rounds out the top 10. Labatt's in 11th. Guitar Man in 12th. Caesar in 13th. Mo Powa takes 14th. USGT taking P15. ZGS in P16. P17 goes to Unholy Red Eye. P18 to Renan. Rounding out the grid is Raimai in 19th for AlphaTauri. Let's get ready for an exciting race here in Belgium. We'll see what the weather brings. It does tend to rain here, but it looks like a beautiful day here at Spa-Francorchamps. As everyone gets their final setups ready. This just in from the pit wall. Our weather guy says it is a dry race. It will be a full dry race as everyone gets on the grid and gets ready to start the formation lap. Alright, so we're going to take a peek at the championship standings at the moment. Our stats guy, the AlphaTauri driver, Raimai. We are only 3 rounds away from this championship season being over. Red Bull does have a 127-point lead at the moment over Racing Point, but with the amount of points available in the different championships created here in the East Coast Formula One League, the points are not over yet. It can definitely come down to the final race. So we'll see how that goes, but currently Red Bull is leading the Constructors' Championship, followed by Racing Point and Haas in P3. We're getting ready for the formation lap. I do believe Smith Pell is also leading the Drivers' Championships at the moment. He is followed by the Haas driver of Jay Kelly, who is absent today. There's only a 30-point deficit, and he is followed by the Racing Point of Detail, and fourth is Renan in the McLaren. So this could be anyone's championship to take, as the Haas of Yuppie takes off to an early lead here on the formation lap. You can see the predicted pit stop strategies: soft to hard, or soft medium, I believe that said. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what everyone decides to go on for tire strategies. I'll bring that up quickly just to see what everyone is on. Majority of the field's hanging onto those soft compound tires. You can see a few yellow walled mediums throughout the grid there. It's always a strategic game here in Formula One. Definitely need to have a tire strategy down pat. Can definitely win or lose you a race. And that can be messed with at a moment's notice. Safety cars or anything of the sort can mess up a tire strategy in a hurry, and could cost somebody some positions or a race. So it definitely plays a major factor in how your race turns out. So we'll see. Generally, a person wants to do a one-stop strategy, as it takes out the least amount of time from your race. As you can see, Mopow and ZGS were disqualified there during the formation lap, so they will be starting on cooler tires. You can see the cars were weaving back and forth. That's to get some heat into the tires, try to get the grip levels to their optimum point. As the cars line up on the grid, get a good shot down the pit straight. As you can see, the cars at the back of the grid lining up, getting set to start the race. We're going to have lights turning on right away here. 2, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And they're out and away we go here. We are starting the Belgian Grand Prix as we fly into turn 1 here. The Haas's go wheel to wheel. It looks like everyone's getting through there. Oh, and the Red Bull spun. That is Smith Pell spins out of turn 1. We're going to get some onboards here as some cars go side by side up. Oh, Rouge, we got a spun Red Bull at dissection. Or AlphaTauri, my apologies. As Guitar is flying by Snooker with ease. Labatt's coming up beside his teammate there. We'll hop back with those guys as they go wheel to wheel. Through the chicane, gets a little wide there. Some fantastic race action here in lap 1 of the Belgian Grand Prix. Smith Pell almost gets into the back of dissection there. I can't see any wing damage currently for the Red Bull, so he might have got away easily there. Oh, I believe... Oh yes, dissection has an extremely damaged wing on the AlphaTauri, so he will need to pit on lap 1 to get some new tires. So there we go with stop strategies, soft to medium or soft to hard. Stewart taking a 3-second time penalty. We'll hop back up here near the front with these current on-track battles. Stewart and Niru hanging in close. Teammates also battling against each other. This may be the only sport in the world where teammates are fighting against each other. Always makes for an exciting race. Just waiting for the grid to work itself out. We're sitting here in second place with Yuppie. The grid will swap itself around soon, I hope. Dissection headed into the pit. Swapping on a new set of softs. Alright, there we go. The grid has worked itself out by the looks of it. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Looks like we got a Ferrari at the back there. Guitar Man spun out coming through the S section there at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Did he get away unscathed? His wing does look fine, so he should be okay. Yuppie, who started out in P1, got first position taken away by his teammate. He's hunting him down, only 3/10 back. Cruise onto the back here, Unholy Red Eye. Oh, Raimai got by Smith Pell, the sister team to Red Bull. The AlphaTauri gets by him. Oh, we got a spun AlphaTauri coming out of that fast, long left-hander. It's a very easy corner to... Oh, we got another spin. USGT, the Alfa Romeos are not having a good time here in Belgium. Oh, and you can see some debris on the track. Could cause a puncture. Soy Loco hanging on to first place. ZGS dove into the pits. I don't know if he had any sort of damage. Hop on there and see if they bring a wing out of the pits. They didn't. He's just going for some new tires, deciding that it's time for some new softs. Got some pretty close gaps here. He'll cruise back to Smith Pell. He's hunting down. He's got DRS. Oh, he gets onto the grass, but he does get by him. Down this long straight with the DRS, it's almost like cars are standing still. You get such a long stretch of wing advantage. Ooh, heavy lockup coming into that downhill right-hander. But he hangs on to P13, gets the pass done. Dissection gets by USGT as they head into Eau Rouge. Gets a little slippery there, but he hangs on to it. Oh, Stewart got by Niru in the third sector of the track here. Try to keep a close eye on the gaps if I can. We've got some McLaren fans out there. Renan's got some fans in the stream. Everyone's rooting for Renan in the McLaren. So hopefully he can show up today. Make his fans proud. Detail hanging out in 5th position here for Racing Point as he hunts down the pair of Mercedes. They're trying to close up that gap to the Haas's up front there. Missed a pass there by Smith Pell. He gets by the McLaren of Mopawa, Renan's teammate, as they head into Eau Rouge. Big gap there for Smith Pell. Raimai, one of the only few guys on the grid to start out on the medium tire. It'll last a little bit longer, so we'll see how that plays out as far as tire strategies go. Gaps are starting to open up now. Oh, we got Guitar Maniac in the Williams. Spun, unfortunately. He's in an unfortunate part of the track. If he doesn't move soon, he's gonna get disqualified. He does get out of there, loses quite a few positions, unfortunately. Oh, and he does have a smashed wing. He's got a Ferrari coming in close to him here. Oh, Guitar Man takes a lot of the grass there. So Guitar Maniac will be pitting. He's gonna need some body work there on the Williams. They'll be swapping out a brand new wing. I missed it. Niru gets by Stewart into the bus stop chicane. Neither of them had DRS, surprisingly, which maybe they're working together. It's hard to say. As they head down the other pit straight up into Eau Rouge and rattle on. We'll hop on board with Stewart here as he's got DRS. We'll see if he can catch him before the S section here. And he won't. He'll close out the gap, but he won't quite get enough to do the pass. Couple cars in the pits there, Guitar Maniac and Mo Powa. The McLaren decided for the hard tires, so he's going to be looking to push those right to the end of the race. A little bit of a drag race coming out of the pits there, but the Alfa Romeo gets the pass done. Guitar Maniac gets out ahead of USGT, both on the mediums. Monkey Mafia. Oh, ZGS. Oh no. We'll hop on board with Caesars. You'll be able to see we got a safety car. We have a safety car. You can see the Williams ZGS off track there. Unfortunately, must have spun and hit the wall, ruined his car. Probably a godsend for some of the soft tire runners. They probably would have been getting potentially close to their pit stop window. So the leader, Soy Loco, will dive into the pits, and I imagine quite a few cars will follow him. As you can see, coming back through the grid. Detail, Monkey Mafia heading in. Labatt stays out as he is on the medium. He's got a double stack there in the Mercedes pits there. As Niru opts for the hards. Stewart going for the mediums. Got a bit of a different tire strategy. A long train running through the pits here in Belgium. As everyone heads out on track. Monkey Mafia coming out. Yuppie coming out. A good mix of mediums and hards throughout the top portion of the grid there. Raimai and the AlphaTauri opting for a new set of hard compound tires. Guitar Man taking hards as well for the Ferrari team. Mo Powa taking hard tires as well. Caesar coming into the pits here for Alfa Romeo. Guitar Maniac did pit earlier on, so he'll just zoom on by. Taking a brand new set of hards. And USGT also pitted earlier due to a spin, so he's on some fairly fresh mediums. See, he'll make up a place. Now this is a big advantage to the guys that were a little bit further back on the grid, as the safety car has essentially a set speed. The rest of the grid will bunch up, as you can see them behind that nice Mercedes safety car. The safety car is setting the pace for the rest of the grid, waiting for everyone to catch up. Definitely got some Renan fans in the house. As you can see, a few of the cars a little bit further back, but they will be catching up here. Oh, Guitar Man spun, unfortunately, onto the safety car, so he lost a few positions, which is allowed if a car does have an accident. You cannot pass under the safety car. You will be ordered to give that position back, but in the event of a car going too slow, or in Guitar Man's case, spinning, you are able to take over that position. So a couple guys will bump up under the safety car. Looks like we got Dissection. We'll be pulling up the back of the grid for AlphaTauri. So we'll probably, with the grid bunching up at the start of the lap, essentially we may only have one more lapper on the track. Oh, it looks like Niru must have spun as well. He lost a place or two. His teammate Stewart sitting up in 8th place. Labatt's taking over the lead of the race. And Holy Red Eye in 2nd. Niru taking a 5-second penalty. Oh no, they had a collision. My apologies, I didn't catch exactly what happened. If I had to guess, he ran into the back of the Ferrari. majorly unfortunate as he already had pitted, and he's going to need a brand new wing. If the safety car doesn't come in this lap, it'll pan out okay for Nero, but that is devastating this early on in the race. Majorly unfortunate for Mercedes. As we head back through the grid here, we got Soy Loco sitting up in third for Haas, weaving back and forth, getting some heat into those tires. Those hards and mediums are exceptionally hard to heat up, just due to the way that the tires are manufactured. Renan, the crowd favorite so far for McLaren, sitting in P4. Detail sitting in P5. 6th is Monkey Mafia. 7th is Yuppie, the reserve driver for Haas today. Stewart 156 hanging on to 8th for Mercedes. 9th is Snooker in the Renault. P10 is Smith Pell for Red Bull. Safety car is in this lap. Race control has confirmed safety car is in this lap, so that is unfortunate for Nero. He's going to have to try to get into the pits as fast as he can to not lose too much ground to the grid as they take off. So the car leading, so Labatt's Blues can essentially set the pace. He can back the cars up as far as he wants. Mopawa in 12th. 13th is Guitar Maniac. Guitar Man hanging on to 14th for Ferrari. Nero in 16th for Mercedes. Major accident there, costing him a front wing. USGT in 16th. His teammate right behind him, Caesar, in 17th, and 18th is Dissection. As Labatt's is cruising into the bus stop chicane here, getting ready to start the race. And we are green flag, and we're away. Gets a pretty good jump on Unholy Red Eye. As everyone heads into turn 1. Everyone's a little more spaced out on the safety car restart, as everyone kind of is most of the time in single file. Oh, we got a wheel-to-wheel battle here. Smith Pell and Snooker going wheel-to-wheel up Eau Rouge. Can they do it? They do. Snooker hangs on to that spot over Smith Pell. That is racing action at its finest. As they head into the S's, Guitar Maniac gets ahead of Mopawa, following Raima and the AlphaTauri. Fantastic safety car restart. Couple of heavy lockups into that downhill right-hander. Guitar Maniac does get the pass done on Raimai. And Mopawa will be hunting him down right quick here. Smith Pell is only a 10th behind Snooker. Wants that spot back that he was trying to take. Headed up Eau Rouge. Mopawa's, oh no, as Raimai spins. Narrowly misses him. Oh, that's unfortunate for Raimai. Niru is at the back of the pack here. He did have an extra pit stop, unfortunately. Raimai recovers and he will keep going. Caesar taking a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Oh, and Smith Pell, I missed it. My apologies, fans. Takes over 9th position from Snooker into the bus stop chicane. I didn't see that gap was that close. My apologies. Another close one up here. Monkey Mafia on the gearbox of Detail. He's going to get DRS. Oh, my apologies. We haven't had enough laps. We do need to wait to the start of the 3rd lap after the safety car to re-enable the drag reduction system. Detail gets a bit of a lockup, goes deep into there. Allows Monkey Mafia. Oh, and he snags a time penalty for exceeding track limits, unfortunately. Bit of a lockup. Monkey Mafia is trying to keep the pressure on. Soy Loco is only 3/10 back from Unholy Red Eye in 2nd place. Doesn't quite hit his line there. Unholy Red Eye is on the mediums, mind you. Soy Loco on the hard compound tire. Not as grippy, but they will last longer. He's hunting them down. Alright, Stewart gets by Yuppie of a couple cars headed into the bus stop chicane. Oh, Stewart almost makes contact with the back of the Red Bull. DRS is enabled on this lap 10 here at the Belgian Grand Prix. So we will have a bit of a DRS train here headed through the Kemmel Straight. Smith Pell setting the fastest lap with a 1:46.9. Oh, Unholy Red Eye almost loses it, pulls a Sergio Perez. Majorly unfortunate as he won't have DRS, and Soy Loco will easily take over second position. We'll see how fast he can make up that ground that he just lost. Hopefully the tires can do it for him. Niru setting the fastest lap so far, the 1:46.432. Easy to lock up into this. It pushes the weight of the car heavily forward. So it's easy to lock up that inside tire. Oh, I'm missing it here. Mo Powa spun, unfortunately. McLaren dropping down a few positions. Oh no, I missed it. Oh, we had a crash. The pair of racing points must have tangled up. Ah, I missed it. I am sorry, everyone. Majorly unfortunate. You can see the car laying off on the right side of the track. Just don't have enough cameras here to swap through, everyone. My apologies. We have another safety car here on lap 10 in Belgium. Renan is bringing every fan he's got here to cheer him on. Labatt's finally takes a pit stop, opting for the hard compound tire to finish out his race. Couple guys head into the pits. Quite a few opt to stay out, as they're most of the guys on the hard compound tire for sure. In the previous safety car pit stop should be able to put those till the end of the race. Saving grace for Niru, mind you, as he will catch up to the pack. Raimai recently pitted for a new set of mediums, so that is also a good thing for him, as I'm sure the Delta is causing him to slow down a little bit. The cars do have to essentially obey a speed rule. Oh, he's opting for another pit stop. May need a new front wing now, as he bumped the wall there on the entry. Curious to see what he's going to go with. Is he going to opt for hards? They got a brand new front wing sitting there. He's going for softs. Raimai is opting for the soft tire with 11 laps remaining here. That is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him. I will do my best to catch as many on-track battles as I can. I apologize as we missed that that battle between the racing points, which ultimately ended their points for today, as we almost seen another collision there between a few of the cars. The fan favorite Renan hanging on to 9th position for McLaren. He's got a brand new set of hard tires. Most of the field is on the hards right now, some guys on some used mediums, which is interesting because I don't think those will last to the end of the race, or if they do, they'll be quite wore out, but it may be enough to get these guys to some good points finishes. As our main resident statistician, Raimai, hanging out in P16. They'll let him cruise back up and join the grid here on lap 12. Pretty crazy race here already in Belgium. We've got 3 DNFs, unfortunately. A few good crashes. Oh, as he almost loses the rear end into the bus stop chicane. This track has undergone quite a few different transformations over the years. It is one of the oldest tracks in the Formula One calendar, if not the oldest. I know it's been around since the wartime, definitely around the World War II era for sure. It's in some very picturesque landscapes. Alright, Raimai is catching back up to the grid here. Soy Loco is leading. Monkey Mafia making up some positions. He's currently sitting in P2. Can he push those mediums for another 10 laps? I don't know, but we will find out. Stewart right behind him on 5-lap old mediums, as well as Smith Pell and Guitar Maniac. So we'll see how the tire strategy plays out. As I said, it's definitely a huge part of F1 and where a car is going to finish. It'll make for some exciting racing near the end of this Grand Prix. The safety car lights are out. It is in this lap. Soy Loco is able to set the grid pace to whatever he wants. A car is able to essentially use a constant speed. You can't go up and down with your speed. As you can see, the Mercedes safety car fly on towards the pits. Everyone weaving back and forth, getting some heat into the tires, waiting for Soy Loco to take off. There's only a few penalties throughout the grid so far. Everyone's doing quite well. Soy Loco backing up the grid, trying to get the best jump he can. Monkey Mafia hot on his gearbox. Alright, we are green flags, back to racing here as they head into turn 1. Everyone fairly close here. No major gaps at the moment. Raimai made up a position on the Ferrari as they go wheel to wheel through turn 1. And he comes out ahead. As we head through the beautiful Kemmel Straight, as we're on board with Alfa Romeo, a famous clip that shows up every once in a while, especially around the Belgian Grand Prix. Back in, I believe, 05 or 06, the current Alfa Romeo driver, Kimi Räikkönen, showing his pure racing skill, I guess you would attribute it to, flying through a thick smoke screen at the top of the Kemmel Straight, full throttle, hoping to come out on the other side, and he does. We got Mo Powa from McLaren following his teammate Renan in P11. Miru in P10. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Guitar Man has spun. Got out into the gravel there. which definitely hurts the tires. So you'll be looking to cool those back down a little bit, clear some of that debris off, and get back to the grid. Alright, we got some close gaps here at the moment. Neru's chasing down Dissection in the AlphaTauri. I'll be curious to see how these tires end up at the end of this race. See how well the mediums can stand up to the hards here. I believe next lap we should have DRS again. Stewart taking a 3-second time penalty for Mercedes. Oh, Dissection getting a little wide there. Yep, he's only 2/10 back from Stewart. He's looking to make up that spot on him. Showing some good pace in the Haas. Oh, Neru gets by Dissection, and he's looking to... Oh, and he gets by Snooker. Oh, and there was a heavy collision there between Dissection and Snooker. Major hit. That was definitely a heavy one. Couldn't tell if Dissection has some major wing damage or not. He's missing an end plate. He'll need a new wing to avoid losing some time. DRS is enabled by race control, so we'll be back to getting some crazy speeds here. Oh, and Guitar Man crashed out in the third sector there. Dissection heading into the pits. Taking a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, unfortunately. So definitely have some gaps closing up here with the help of DRS. Nothing super close at the moment, but that can change at any time. We got a virtual safety car because of that crash. Snooker with a drive-through penalty for speeding under this VSC. That's a major penalty as well. The drive-through, if you're not familiar, requires a driver to drive through the length of the pits, but is not able to make a pit stop. So that's essentially like a 30-second penalty. So that is crippling in a race. Gaps are hanging around the 1 second mark. The closest gaps on track at the moment here are Yuppie to Stewart and Smith Pell behind him. Or sorry, Yuppie to Stewart and Stewart to Monkey Mafia, but those are changing every second here. Raimai is getting pretty close to the back of Caesar here, but we'll cruise up back here quick. We'll hop on board with Smith Pell as we head up Eau Rouge. As you can see, the gearbox, Yuppie closing in quick as they both get DRS, opening up that rear wing. As they hunt down Stewart. Ooh, and he almost gets him. Pretty close there, but won't quite get it done here. Gets a little bit closer, and then Stewart happens to run away with it, but Stewart's tires are significantly more worn, being the mediums versus the hards. Not significantly maybe, but definitely more worn. So that'll be playing a factor in how those guys battle this out. About 6.5 laps remaining here in the Belgian Grand Prix. And we've been in for some exciting race action, to say the least. Gaps are forming throughout the grid. A few seconds here and there. This is the closest we've got on track. Smith Pell hunting down the 2 cars ahead of him. So they'll have DRS down the short pit straight, which helps to close that up slightly. Yuppie will get a little bit closer to Stewart here. Maybe we'll see if we can get a good exit from one of these cars and get some wheel to wheel. Oh, Smith Pell almost loses the back end of the Red Bull. We got a yellow sector 3. We got a spun car. That'll be Snooker coming out of the chicane. Mopawa taking a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Yuppie does get by Stewart. Of course, I swapped at the wrong time. He had the DRS down the Kemmel straight, makes the pass. Labatz is on the gearbox of Guitar Maniac. He is hunting the Williams down, putting the pressure on. Try to keep an eye on those gaps here. Guitar Maniac slowly pulling away. He is on more worn medium tires, so we'll see. We get a yellow flag. Oh, we've got a spun. Oh, we've got a spun Mercedes, and Niru is out of the race, bringing out a virtual safety car, slowing everybody down to the delta times. That's less points for the Mercedes team. Snooker getting another drive-through. He's got some serious penalties here. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's missing a wing. It looks like he was going kind of slow there. No, his wing is okay. He was just obeying the track speeds. With only 5 laps or 4 laps remaining, roughly. He's got a couple of drive-thrus he's got to serve, so he's going to serve one right now. Maybe it's just a one drive-through, I'm not quite sure. Need to head back up track here. Unfortunately, Dissection taking a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Guitar Maniac also gained a drive-through. 13 seconds of penalties for Dissection. Alright, so Snooker comes out of the pit, so he definitely has another drive-through, which is unfortunate. It is quite a bit of time there. And they do require you to serve it within 3 laps, or you are disqualified from the race. You don't really have much of a choice but to head in, and you can't do it under a safety car. So all of the top leaders here are on 11 to 12 lap old tires. So they'll definitely be wanting to push into the end. You don't want to make a pit stop this late in the race, as the gaps are not there to be out ahead of cars behind you. Alright, Guitar is heading into the pits to serve his drive-through. Smith Pell, 146.239 is the current fastest lap. We'll see if we can hang on to that, taking an extra point for Red Bull, as we get a couple guys bumping up positions here with Guitar Maniac serving his drive-through. Reenan, the crowd favorite, moves up into P7. Oh, the Yuppie cruises by Monkey Mafia once again on the Kemmel straight. That seems to be his go-to there for passing. So right now, as it stands, we've got a Haas lockout in 1-2 and a Red Bull lockout 3-4. We'll see if these guys can hang on to those positions. Stewart is hunting down Smith Pell. Mo Powa coming up close to the back end of his teammate Renan. Hop on board with him. Soy Loco taking a 3-second time penalty. And Labatt's follows suit. Some pretty good race action here in the Belgian Grand Prix. Part of the East Coast Formula One Championship dissection. Pitted not long ago for a new set of softs. Looking to make up a place in the Renault on 12 lap. Ooh, does he have a damaged? No, not quite. He's just not quite doing his lines the way he normally would. But he's just got to get back in his rhythm, I think. Only 5/10 separating the two McLarens, which will lead to DRS down here on the Camel Straight. Monkey Mafia trying to close up that gap on Yuppie in the same position that he passed him in. Mo Powa just stays inside that 1 second time frame to keep DRS. Renan must have got a very good exit there out of turn 1. Snooker pits late here. I'm thinking he's looking to put on a brand new set of softs and go for that extra point for fastest lap. Oh no, my apologies. Snooker was serving his other drive-through penalty. The one thing here in the East Coast Formula One Championship, if you're new to our streams here, every car... Oh, and Snooker crashed at the top of Eau Rouge. And Rattle on. Oh, that is majorly unfortunate for Snooker. A little less points for Renault in the Drivers' Championship. Soy Loco with a 146.132 taking the fastest lap on the hard compound tire. That is some serious pace right there. Mo Powa sticking to the back of his teammate. Smith Pell doing the same. He will have... Ooh, it's a little squirrely there. He gets... DRS, is he gonna make it? Monkey Mafia makes a bit of a block and he flies by him. Monkey Mafia slowed down quite early, it looked like, or Smith Pell broke late, one or the other, but gets the pass done on Monkey Mafia to take third. Caesar getting a 3-second time penalty for Alfa Romeo. And we are in the penultimate lap here at Spa Francorchamps. As we're in this fast left-hander here. Soy Loco hanging on a first place with the fastest lap of the session as well. Followed by his teammate Yuppie, Smith Pell and Monkey Mafia. The pair of Red Bulls hanging out in third and fourth. Mo Powa still hunting down his teammate Renan. Renan does not have any penalties at the moment, knock on wood. Oh, gets a little squirrely there on that curb. We're nearing the end of... Oh, and Mo Powa loses it. Gets a little slippery there as his rear tires contact that curb. Smith Pell, 145.928. There's a battle going on for that extra point in the fastest lap here at Spa. Labatt Labatt's is only 5/10 off of the Mercedes ahead of him as they head up through Eau Rouge into Raidillon. We'll see if we'll be able to catch him on here on the straight. We'll hop on board as he closes in on the gearbox. Takes the inside line. Stewart's not giving up. Oh, and he does concede the position, unfortunately. He wasn't giving up too easily there. Bit of a late break as he goes deep into there. Got a bit of a spin, I think, here. Raimai. Oh, he's got a puncture. You can see his left front there is completely destroyed as he heads into the pits. That left front flopping around there. I don't know if he's... he won't retire this late. He's going to put on a brand new set of softs to get his car around. You got to get the points. Every driver will score points. Must have been serving a 5-second penalty, I think. Or he was getting a wing change, I couldn't tell. As he heads out of the pits here. Soy Loco comes across the line in first place. Yuppie right behind him in a spin from Smith Pell. Monkey Mafia taking the podium away from Smith Pell in the final corner of the Belgian Grand Prix. What a turn of events. Labatt's taken fourth, Stewart taken fifth. Smith Pell can't get the... oh no! Losing 4 positions in the final corner. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Renan gaining a couple positions up into 6th place for McLaren. Oh, that is devastating for Smith Pell. Those were some much needed points there for his Drivers' Championship and the Constructors. What a crazy turn of events. I couldn't switch off there. Oh, and Dissection, I missed that as well. He crashed. Raimai crashing out, unfortunately. Yuppie taking the win. Renan, the crowd favorite, with Driver of the Day. Fantastic racing here at Spa, doing a little dance as he hops up on the top step of the podium. Unbelievable racing here. We'll see if we can't get a couple of them in for a quick interview. Okay, Yuppie taking first, Soy Loco second, third going to Monkey Mafia in the final corner. Labatt's in fourth, fifth goes to Stewart, sixth Renan, seventh is Smith Pell, eighth goes to USGT, Guitar Maniac in ninth, Mo Powa in 10th, Caesar in 11th, P12 goes to Dissection, P13 goes to Raimai. P14 goes to Snooker, and a few DNFs and Niru, Guitar Man, Detail, Unholy Red Eye, and ZGS to round it out here in Belgium. Alright, we'll see if we can get a couple of these guys in here. I imagine Monkey Mafia is jumping out of his seat. Don't know if I have the other guys, unfortunately. Oh, I do have him. I just unfortunately don't have the winner. see if these guys join or not. There is the winning Haas car of Yuppie and the P2 driver of Soy Loco. We can't get Soy Loco in here, unfortunately. And I don't know if Monkey's gonna hop in here either. As the camera pans over these feats of automotive engineering. Well, it looks like we got no driver interviews today. Congratulations to Yuppie on the win, the fill-in driver for the Haas racing team. P2 on the podium going to Soy Loco, and P3 to Monkey Mafia, overtaking his teammate in the final corner as he couldn't just quite hang on to the traction for one more turn. And Monkey Mafia takes a unbelievable podium here at the end of the race. Thanks to everybody for tuning in for some more East Coast Formula One action. We will be back next week as we go to, I don't recall, unfortunately. We are going to be in Singapore under the lights in the bay. So we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.